October 19, 2014, from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California. It was the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Diego Chargers. The Chiefs won the toss and they elected to defer. And so the Chargers would take over first, and they went 3 and out on their opening possession. And so they punted the ball to Kansas City, who took over on their own 42, but they would end up punting on their first possession as well. So now the Chargers would take over with about 10 minutes left in the first quarter, and they had it on their own 11, but then they ended up punting after 5 plays. So now Kansas City would get the ball, and they would go 3 and out as these two teams were trading punts back and forth. So now the Chargers got the ball with about 6 minutes left in the first quarter. They had it on their own 39, and then after getting into Kansas City territory, it was first down on the 45. Rivers hit Royal for a 20-yard pass to make it first down on the Kansas City 25. Oliver then ran for 8 yards and then 3 yards, and now it was first down on the Kansas City 14, and after a pass interference penalty, it would end up being first and goal from the 1, and Rivers would hit Phillips for a 1-yard touchdown pass that put the Chargers on the board with the first score, as it was now 7-0 San Diego over Kansas City. So now the Chiefs would get the ball on their own 34 to start their drive. Jamaal Charles got an 8-yard run to make it 2nd and 2 from the 42. Then he ran for 5 yards to pick up the first down, and Kansas City ended up calling a timeout. So now it's first down on the Kansas City 47, and Charles ran for 7 yards to make it 2nd and 3 from the 46 of San Diego. Smith then hit Bowe for a 26-yard pass, and it was first down on the San Diego 20. Charles then ran for 4 yards on the final play of the first quarter, and after one, it was 7-0 San Diego over Kansas City. So now to open up the second quarter, it was 2nd and 6 on the San Diego 16 for the Chiefs, and Jamaal Charles ran in for a 16-yard touchdown run to make it 7 apiece for these two teams. So it's tied up at 7, and the Chargers now had the ball on their own 18. They went 3 and out and punted it back to Kansas City. So the Chiefs now would take over on the 34 once again, but now with 12 and a half minutes or so on the clock before halftime, they would end up bringing the ball to midfield and across into San Diego territory and all the way into the red zone. But then their drive would stall on the 10-yard line, and Cairo Santos came in to kick a 28-yard field goal as the Chiefs took the lead 10-7. So now San Diego would get the ball, but they would go 3 and out and punt it right back to the Chiefs, who would also go 3 and out, and they punted it to the Chargers. So now the Chargers had the ball on their own 20 with about a minute left before halftime. And then Philip Rivers hit Allen for a 7-yard pass, and then the Chargers called a timeout. An incomplete pass would make it 3rd and 3 from the 27. Rivers hit Gates for a 7-yard pass, and then they called a timeout. And so now it's first down on the San Diego 34, and Rivers hit Floyd for a 12-yard pass, and was first down on the 46. Rivers then hit Gates for a 27-yard pass, and now it was a first down on the Kansas City 27. Philip Rivers dropped back to pass, and he hit Antonio Gates for a 27-yard touchdown pass to make it 14-10, Chargers over the Chiefs. The Chiefs would kneel on the ball, and this game went to halftime with the score San Diego 14, Kansas City 10. The Chiefs would start things out in the third quarter. They started off on their own 15, and they drove the ball on a long drive going about 6.5 minutes, 63 yards and 12 plays, but they stalled on the 22 of San Diego when Santos came out to kick a 40-yard field goal, and it was now a 1-point game with the score Chargers 14, Chiefs 13. The Chargers would then go 3 and out, and they punted the ball back to Kansas City, who now had it on their own 30 with about 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. They would go on a long drive as they would get all the way down to the red zone, and on 3rd and 5 from the San Diego 15, Alex Smith dropped back to pass, and he was sacked for a 5-yard loss on the last play of the third quarter, but there was a penalty of defensive holding, and that would make it a first down. But after 3, the score was 14-13, Chargers over the Chiefs. So on the first play of the fourth quarter, it was first down on the San Diego 10 for the Chiefs. Alex Smith dropped back to pass, and he hit Sherman for an 11-yard touchdown pass as the Chiefs took the lead with the score now 20-14, Kansas City over San Diego. The Chargers now had the ball on their own 17. They brought it across midfield and into the red zone, but their drive stalled on the Kansas City 6-yard line, and Novak came out to kick a 24-yard field goal, and it was now a 3-point game with the score Kansas City 20, San Diego 17. The Chiefs now took over with about 9.5 minutes left in this game, and they had the ball on their own 12, but 7 plays later they would be forced to punt, and the Chargers would now get the ball on their own 12 with about 5.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They would end up getting into field goal range, and Novak came out to kick a 48-yard field goal, and this game was now tied at 20 apiece. The Chiefs now took over with less than 2 minutes left in the game, and they had the ball on their own 8-yard line as they had to go 92 yards to win this one, or the game would go to overtime. Smith ended up throwing an incomplete pass on first down on 2nd and 10. Smith scrambled 9 yards, and then a face mask penalty would bring the ball out to the Kansas City 32. Then a false start would bring it back to the 27, and then an incomplete pass would make it 2nd and 15 from the 27, and Smith then hit Bowe for a 19-yard reception, and it was now first down on the Kansas City 46. Smith then hit Kelsey for a 16-yard pass, and then he hit Kelsey for an 8-yard pass, and now it was 2nd and 2 from the 30. 2 incompletions would now make it 4th and 2 from the San Diego 30, and Cairo Santos was called out to kick a 48-yard field goal, and it was good as the Chiefs now took the lead with the score 23-20 with just seconds on the clock. So now the Chargers took over with about 20 seconds left. Philip Rivers threw an incomplete pass, and now it was 2nd and 10 from the 20. Philip Rivers dropped back to pass, and he was intercepted by Coleman, and the Chiefs took over. Smith took a knee, and Kansas City beat San Diego in San Diego with the final score 23-20, and with the victory, the Chiefs are now 3-3, and the Chargers are 5-2 as they lose their first game at home of the year. And in this game, Alex Smith was 19 for 28 with 221 passing yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 29 yards off of 6 carries. Philip Rivers was 17 for 31 with 205 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The leading rusher in this game was Jamaal Charles with 22 carries for 95 yards and a touchdown. He also had 12 yards off of 2 receptions. The leading receiver in the game was Dwayne Bowe with 5 receptions for 84 yards. Antonio Gates had 3 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown as he actually took first place in the Chargers all-time receiving list. And in this game for the defense, Eric Weddle had 13 tackles and Butler had 10 tackles, both for the Chargers. The Chiefs had 2 sacks. Houston and Tom Bahali each had a sack. The Chargers had 3 sacks as Gilchrist, Luggett, and Johnson each had a sack. But it was Coleman who had that interception, the game's lone interception for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs come up big as they win this game. And the end with the fourth quarter by getting that field goal as Santos comes up clutch and Alex Smith came up clutch with that late drive as they started on their own 8-yard line and got all the way down into field goal range. And the final score, Kansas City 23, San Diego 20.